Essential Love, Part 2. Jesus told us to love our neighbours as we love ourselves. How is the loving yourself going? My guess, like many of us, it's becoming harder in lockdown. It's hard when you've got time on your hands. It's hard when you feel like you should be doing this and you should be doing that. I've set to-do lists every day for the last 4 days and failed on every single one of them. And every single night I've gone to bed feeling like a failure because I've had time to do these things and yet I haven't been able to do them. And then I realised how quickly we turn ourselves into a shame pit. How quickly we shame ourselves. How quickly we are to say, I'm not doing homeschooling very well. Why can't I do this? I should be doing this. My house should be tidier than it is. I should be making fun activities for my children every day. I should be doing this and I should be doing that. Yet somehow I'm not. And that is not loving toward oneself. What is loving toward oneself is to make a to-do list every day that when you go to bed, you question how much you've loved yourself, how much compassion you've shown yourself today, how much mercy you've given yourself, how much grace you've allowed yourself. We are in the midst of unprecedented times and our brains and our beings react completely differently in these times. But what's most important is how we ourselves adapt and how we ourselves love each other and love ourselves. Because we might come out of this. I'm going to keep that in. The dogs just nicked the sausages off my son's plate. Perfect. But that's the thing. Lockdown is tough. Missing your friends and families, missing being in the outdoors is tough. It's hard. And you are doing the very best that you can do. And you shouldn't forget that. That should be your to-do list of the day, is to remember to love yourself in it. There is no right or wrong way to be in this situation. Instead, the thing we can do is love ourselves, and therefore we can react, we can give ourselves the space and the positivity to deal with this situation. Jesus never shamed anyone, and we should not be shaming ourselves. And it's hard sometimes when we're sat in lockdown, and I get it completely. I went to pick up a prescription the other day for my friend, and it was on a retail park, and it looked like lockdown wasn't happening. It looked like all the shops were open. Well, they were all open. And then you think, well, what's the point of me staying in? And that's perfectly natural, perfectly natural. And I thought that, but I was wrong, because we each are coping with this in our own way. And if people need to stand outside shops and queue to get in, to feel normal for 10 minutes, that is not our call to make. We can only love and give mercy to other people in the way that we give it ourselves. And that's the most important thing at the moment, is how we love ourselves. How are you going to love yourself? How are you going to give yourself a break today? Because when all is said and done, however, whenever we come out of this, how we wiled away our days in lockdown, we will forget, as we are reunited with our family and friends. These days will just become a distant memory. So make those memories good. Love is always a journey, and that is why I have decided to do a second part to this. Because lockdown is actually a journey, and it's a hard journey. And the way that we've approached things and the way that we're going about things now are not the same as they were a month ago. We don't have the same zeal and energy for things to be perfect in the way that we perhaps did at the beginning. And that is perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. This is the bit where we need our grit, where love can be messy and muddy and chaotic. But the fact is love needs to exist in these days. And giving ourselves a break, not judging ourselves or others, is a way that we can begin to show love for ourselves. The to-do lists, make them achievable. And what's easily and can be achieved every day is grace and mercy and love. Because that is exactly what Jesus and God sees you as worthy of. And maybe we need to learn to see ourselves in the same way. So I leave this with a prayer for us all. A prayer. I give up. But this is perfect, because it's not perfect. My prayers and love are with you all. Take care.